He offered me a place to stay, but the place didn't exist, and neither did he. It was supposed to be a quick ride from Tirupati, a quick connection, but one wrong bus, a missed stop, and the sudden rain, and here I was at Chittoor railway station in the middle of the night. No people, no announcement, not even stray dogs. Just the cracked concrete of platform 2, the flicker of dying tube lights, and the smell of wet rust. I sat on a cold, wet bench, looking at the board, trying to see when the next train would come. But the boards were dead. I took out my phone, thinking of calling an Uber, but unfortunately, my battery was dead. 2 benches down, there was a middle aged man sitting with a book in his hand. Even though it was dark, he was still reading. He had a backpack that lay next to him. I got up and walked towards him, hoping he could help me. He looked up, smiled, and asked me to take a seat next to him. I was more than happy. At first, he felt like a lifeline, safe and familiar. But that would soon change. He started insisting that I stay nearby, that there was a hotel just 10 minutes away and I could spend the night there. He said that it was a cheap place, a place run by his cousin, and that if I said his name, I could get it for almost free. He pulled out a notepad from his backpack, wrote down the number, and then gave it to me. At this point, I wasn't sure if I should trust him or not, but nevertheless, I took the paper from him and nodded assure. As soon as I said those words, he stopped. He turned to the train track and just started staring, as if he was waiting for something to come. The train? And then, just as he had given this weird look at the train track, he turned to his bag, pulled out his cell phone, and made a phone call. All while I was standing there, looking at him. As soon as his phone call got connected, he quickly started talking in a language I couldn't understand. But there was one word that stood out. Yatri. Passenger. So was he talking about me? And then, just as if it couldn't have gotten any more creepier, he said another word, the name of the hotel, the same hotel that he had insisted I spend the night. After dropping the call, he got up, picked up his backpack, turned to me, smiled, and said, "You really should consider spending the night there. It's safer than here." And then he just walked off. I half considered walking behind him, trying to ask him more about this hotel, but just then, I stopped dead on my tracks as I heard a familiar sound. The sound of a train. It was coming. I turned towards the place the sound was coming from and then waited for the train to come. Few minutes passed, the sound got louder and closer, but I couldn't see the train. And then I felt it. A gust of wind, as if a train had just passed by me with full force. But there was no train. I quickly ran out of the station hoping to catch a rickshaw, but the roads were abandoned. After much walking in the rain, I came across one man. I begged him to let me make a phone call. I opened the piece of paper the man had given me, dialed the number to call the hotel. After dialing the number, instead of someone picking it up, it said that the number was not in service. Equally shocked, we both Googled the name on his phone. The hotel existed, of course, but it had been abandoned for years after a fire broke out. The man was kind enough to help me out, and I somehow managed to get out of the situation. To this day, I don't know who that man was at the train station,